two guys are going to be even. The expert predictions have predicted close games as well. The map's kind of almost barely being advantage one way or the other. And we'll see. On the spot predictions, though, what do we reckon? Personally, I think it's a 2-1. If there's anything that could be a 2-1, it's this one. But I think Nosfa's going to take it.
I would say the exact same thing. 2-1 for Nosfa is what I'm expecting this to end up with as well. And right off the bat, they're immediately fighting, and quite badly so too. Lots of LG damage being exchanged from the start. cha1n backing away onto the heavy. Going to delay it slightly, but still at about the same time as the Mega Health. And Nosfa running the Anarchy. Interesting pick for this map. Can obviously work very well, but also if you're caught off guard and you run into one of those totems, or you're just, going up the wrong bounce but at the wrong time, you have so little stack to work with. Very risky on the other hand as well.
Significantly more high octane though. cha1n, the rocket's not going to quite hit its mark, sitting on a bit more stack than Nosfa so far, but ultimately it's going to come down to running the circuit of Corrupted Keep, and Anarchy is very, very able to kind of get in and out. A slight delay is going to be on the heavy. There's definitely been enough of a delay now that I think they can start fighting for one or the other. cha1n tries to get as much damage as physically possible before he takes the Mega. Just really nice timing. Get the damage first, recover with Mega, and there's now enough of a delay that you might even be able to steal away the heavy the next time it appears, if cha1n has timing.
Because of course, even when you pick up the Mega, no matter how stacked you are, you'll never go above the 175 health threshold. So obviously cha1n knew this and wanted to take the damage beforehand so that he could get the maximum utility out of picking it up. This is a bit risky though, because in comes Nosfa. He knows that Mega is delayed, and indeed he gets the frag. cha1n just shouldn't have been there waiting for the item to spawn, knowing that there was such a delay.
Now on the opposite end of things, Nosfa should have the timing on heavy, and the delay coming through means he might be able to actually run the ring and collect both of these major pickups. Super shotgun, not really hitting its mark. This is very awkward indeed. cha1n, it just looked like he just stopped shooting at him. That was just, I've never seen someone miss so close. But Nosfer, his strategy, if he's going to go for SSG, I'm going to go as close as possible, so he's hitting that awkward angle. Yeah.
I think they were just having a bit of a hug right there or something, because that was lovely to see, very nice and friendly. But in the end, it will be Nosfa just adding on the frags at this point, and cha1n, all he has is a nail gun to work with, doesn't even get the heal from the totem because he goes down just a second too quickly.
Why don't we just hug it out and stop this mayhem?
Yeah.
Well,
that would be boring.
The delay is continued. The delay is continuing to go, and Nosfer is just maintaining control. And then, even if the fight goes slightly skew, if he's got the injection. So the option to heal up is there. Looking real good, Mega's up and maintaining that chunky delay. And the delay is what's allowed Nosfer to maintain this crazy good stack. Oh, he's going so fast, these prediction rockets. That was a really good one by cha1n, by the way. Yeah. But because the stack was so high, he was still vulnerable himself.
Yeah, I don't know if cha1n can actually make anything happen off of that good rocket. He cannot drop down onto heavy. He's got the totem to keep him nice and healthy, and now he's racing over to Mega, but there's quite a bit of a delay right there, and Nosfa is still looking like he's going to be able to take this one, but the rockets from cha1n, they're wonderful, but just not good enough, and cha1n will take Mega. Oh, and Nosfa is still up there. cha1n is just going to push in. That was clearly a mistake from Nosfa to still hang around right there.
Yeah, for sure. I think even if he tried to run away, he was at the effective range, right?
Yeah.
That's where he's trying to keep him, and manages to turn around, secure one more. This has been an extremely fast-paced map so far. Nosfer still maintaining the lead, but I wonder, with only 3.5 minutes, just over, going down on this map, how long will he sit on this lead? If cha1n's able to bring things back, if he's able to get some good spawns, as he has done so far, to take 2 frags, only needs 3 more to tie the knot.
Yeah.
See if he can do it.
And we're only 4 minutes into the map, so he's got plenty of time to play with. Nosfa using the injection. Is he going to push in aggressively? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Heavy will be the next major item coming up. cha1n has got positioning on it. Nosfa is waiting at the end, but cha1n's gonna know that he's there. That hoverboard makes a lot of sound, and out comes the horizontal rocket jump, getting pretty close, but not close enough. The LG still murderous out of Nosfa, and cha1n has to retreat.
That was just, I think, Nosfa being ready. He was prepared for that play. I think the moment he heard the rocket, I think he kind of had that rocket jump in his mind. That's why his reactionary LG was so quick on the mark, and in the perfect position to stop the momentum. cha1n's entire plan there was to go as fast as possible and get this entry damage to overwhelm, and he was just completely like, he kept a lid on it.
Yeah. Nosfa though, immediately another frag added to his name. Can he find cha1n off the spawn? cha1n has got nothing to work with. He's just running and running and running.
Hello.
But Nosfa says, you're not going anywhere, boy. And there we go, finds him again. Oh, the gauntlet actually connecting. Still a decent amount of damage coming out of cha1n, but it will be Nosfa. 6 frags in the lead right now. This is starting to look difficult.
And cha1n definitely wasn't even ready for that angle. That mid-air was disgusting, and the second rocket to finish the job. What an explosive match. Lightning in a bottle indeed. This guy is playing at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, and again, cha1n can't even get anywhere. I kind of get stuck.
Don't
into
ever
the
try
doorway.
that. Don't ever try that. What are you doing, says Nosfer. Don't ever try that.
Yeah, Nosfa is just absolutely wiping the floor with him at this point. cha1n, this is an opportunity.
No!
But the trade again.
Oh, I was about to say nice, but yeah, the trade is worst case scenario. However, he is going to spawn near heavy. He's got a really impressive stack. He has the rocket as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the odds still remain stacked against him. The amount of work. He does walk into a totem. This is the nail room, though, so he might even survive. He's popping the injection. By all accounts, he should be dead, and he finally falls. Does change to the SSG. I agree with it. Definitely worth doing.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good time to get the frag as well for cha1n, because even though he took a lot of damage, especially with that lost direct that he ate, right now he's got Mega to fall back on, and Heavy is just up as well. So this is looking good for cha1n, but still, 7 frags to go in 3.5 minutes. That's a lot.
I feel like cha1n is just getting overwhelmed, but that's clearly what this Anarchy pick was about. That Nosfer does play very high octane.
Yeah.
When he picks these light champions. I'm actually really excited to see his Athena on Blood Covenant for that exact reason. I just think there's something about the way he approaches these lights that is just incredibly fun to watch, but frighteningly aggressive. You know, we've seen him do it with Slash on Blood Covenant against Wenger. We are seeing him do it right now with Anarchy. That's just... It must feel like you can't breathe. He's just constantly laying this pressure on where it's like, hello, I would like to play this video game that I purchased, please.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed.
And he's keeping himself remarkably stacked too for a light champion. It just constantly feels like I look up and I'm expecting Nosfa to be low, but then he just has so much stack left to work with still. So he's doing an excellent job at keeping himself nice and healthy. And I think cha1n is probably wondering why all this damage isn't leading to more frags himself. Nosfa will pick up the rockets. cha1n closes the grab. Oh! He has to put down the totem right there. Takes a bad rocket and another one. Oh, Nosfa with the fadeaway, shutting it down in the end.
It was almost a win for him, and something that resembles a comeback snuffed away. Nosfer just preventing cha1n from getting anything that resembles footing in this match. He's going to eat some amazing LG. 2 minutes on the clock and a mammoth comeback required to even tie things up. Not even to take the lead. By all accounts, this should be Nosfer's map.
Yeah,
and we'll see if he can.
Yeah, and that was a desperate push from cha1n, just hoping to do enough damage to secure him a frag and maybe get that snowball going. But unfortunately for him, didn't quite manage to do so. And right now he's gonna probably die again before he can even take Mega. And yeah, that is going to seal the deal completely. 1.5 minutes left on the clock and 10 frags of a lead for Nosfa.
Gonna go for a quick detour, collect some of those all-important rockets. And at this stage, Nosfer's just going to try and get as many frags as he can. He's definitely won this map. The question's going to be by how much. Let's add to those statistics.
Yeah, well, plenty of time left, a full minute, but also cha1n, aggressive push, getting a rocket kill himself, so maybe he can at least get himself some more frags on the board, because as we do know, they do matter in the ranking in the end. So cha1n definitely just wants not to just surrender at this point, and he's going to keep applying pressure.
Anything he can at this stage, and this is why Anarchy is so dangerous on keep. He was just able to go from super shotgun all the way past rocket in the blink of an eye. cha1n didn't even have the time to catch up to him. Yeah. And when Nosfer has this, I mean, he has so much of a lead, you can't even find him. Yeah. Nosfer's just going to run away the entire time. Rocket boost or not, he's still going faster than cha1n can even dream of going. 30 seconds on the clock, and it's time to plan for Ruins of Sarnath.
Yeah, and I think that this map perfectly illustrates a point I made earlier about the Athena totems, is that if you're not able to get some control and apply pressure, you're essentially going to get so little out of them. cha1n, I don't think, has gotten 3 totems even once this matchup. He's had to use them to save himself constantly, and that just prevents him from being able to actually get anything good going from that. Gonna mess up the rocket jump at the end, but it doesn't matter. Either way, Nosfa with the Anarchy winning map 1.
Very convincing indeed. I mean, the game plan was to just establish that early lead. It kind of all went a little bit from bad to worse there for cha1n. You know, they had delayed the 2 pickups at the very beginning, and ultimately that delay allowed Nosfer to maintain a very, very impressive stack where he would kill cha1n at one of the pickups, collect it, go to the next one, kill cha1n, collect, rinse, repeat. So at all times, his Anarchy had a really impressive stack, and that's not even counting all the bubbles that are around, because there's so many of them on Corrupted Keep, and then the injection if he needed it. So that early, I think, just steamroll effect was just a result of early delays that Nosfer capitalized on for well over half the map.
And also props to Nosfa for his aim, because he ended up with 45% LG. Here we go, we're seeing the hug again. That was such an awkward engagement. But Nosfa, I mean, he did over 2k damage with the lightning gun and maintained 45% LG throughout that, which is absolutely great.
And we can see how in these replays, so many of the LG, and his rockets too, just all in all, I feel like his general accuracy was very good.
You can say that, alright. And next up, we're actually going to get a map that has a railgun in it again, so that might actually change things up a little bit. Maybe Nosfer really thrived not having that weapon available to him. And cha1n, if he can land some rails, he might be able to turn things around. And that frag, that was just dirty. cha1n trying to run away with nothing but the machine gun. Doesn't even turn back, and Nosfa is just relentless.
But it's the play. You know, cha1n went for the Hail Mary there, understanding that he had to try and do something, otherwise he was going to die. I don't think he had the confidence in any of his other weapons, at least their ability to do the damage as fast as he needed to get it done. But yes, Corrupted Keep is and always will be a very strange map. You know, it's the fact that it's lacking the rail, and that the map went the way it did there with Nosfer. Ruins of Sarnath, you're just guaranteed something completely different. You are guaranteed a map that, look, it could potentially be slower pace. There's more space to work with. There's more space to find your footing. And the inclusion of the rail, maybe, you know, maybe cha1n's just looking for that. Maybe he needs the rail in his game to bring it to Nosfer, and without it, he's a sitting duck. But now, the chance of playing on a map that doesn't have it is gone. So, we'll see.
Absolutely, but Nosfa, on the other hand, he's got the Visor to work with, and Visor, as we know, works extremely well with that railgun. We've seen it a few times today, the perfect shots. I think it was Avak, that one drop-down shot on Awoken. Yeah, beautiful play. So, he's got that Visor ability that complements the railgun so well. Meanwhile, cha1n is actually playing Ranger, who can also work pretty well on Ruins. I mean, there's a few vertical areas that you can easily traverse using that orb. Lots of fakies you can do as well. But yeah, it's going to be difficult for him to deal with that piercing side, especially if Nosfa keeps hitting the way he's been doing, and now throws in a railgun as well.
Now, Nosfa is a formidable opponent for cha1n. But the thing is, Nosfer was the first player in Pro League to have a 3-0 result. That week number 1 was a day of 2-1s, except for when Nosfer fought off against Saigib. And that was a absolutely fantastic performance for him, and if he's able to secure another 3-0 this early on, it's like we said, right, leaderboard counts. That is the be-all, end-all. It is the amount of maps you can secure, and the bonus 2 extra points if you get a 3-0. You know, obviously, you know, you get 6, but because it's 2 per map, and then a bonus 2 if you get a 3-0. It's a climb he will happily take as early as week number 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So we'll see if he can pull it off. I believe we're loading in right now, so we'll see the map very, very, very shortly. And hard to gauge how we think this one's going to go. Using Corrupted Keep, can only give us so much information, because it is naturally such a different map to Ruins in general.
Absolutely, and Nosfa immediately gets himself the railgun and the lightning gun. Used the side already, though. cha1n right now does have the advantage of still having his ability available to him, but Nosfa will collect all the weapons. So far, a very slow start. Both players just concerned with getting themselves the tools of destruction that they need for these future engagements. Some long-distance rockets won't connect at all, and now Nosfa Setting up on top. Oh, cha1n actually going for the rocket jump, taking a lot of damage going up there and won't even get himself in a secure position with that lightning gun. Good retaliatory rocket right there at the very end, though that's going to keep cha1n in the game at least a little bit. Nosfa trying to get a good read on him, knowing that that armor, the small armor right there, is something that cha1n's probably very into. But still, cha1n is not that low himself, so maybe he just will neglect that and go for a major item instead.
Yeah, Nosfa's going to establish early control here. He's going to collect the heavy. The rail very important just to make sure he's topped up, but ooh, a little bit of a late rocket. Not really about the damage though as much as it is the information. Speaking of which, information overload thanks to the piercing sight.
Yeah, and beautiful play from Nosfa to delay the mega health right there. Very deliberate, knowing that if cha1n was still there and it ended up being a fight, he could probably win it and still had that mega to fall back on. Or if things were to turn sour, he could just ride himself back up and pick up the health.
Nosfa's going to have timing. Definitely heard that heavy get collected, so the delay remains. Not as extreme though. Wonderful rail.
Yeah.
And that might make cha1n a little bit panicky. Can't go straight through that corridor. If he eats one more of those, he's in a bad position, Nosfa maintaining his stack, especially seeing as he's spending this entire time controlling Mega, and then, yeah, jumps down and goes, hang on a minute. If I don't rocket jump back up, cha1n has a good chance of stealing that one away, and control is how you establish the start of this map to try and score that first frag. Nosfa doesn't want to overextend. The piercing sight giving him the all-important information, knows he can take the heavy, and now he's been able to regain things just a little bit. But the stack is almost identical at this stage, Flea.
Yeah, and so is the kill count. 0 to 0, 2.5 minutes in. This is a very, very different pace from what we saw earlier, where on Keep, I mean, things were moving along very, very quickly from the very start. What an excellent rail from Nosfa, just catches him on the foot. But cha1n does have Mega to stack right back up with.
I think this is why I really love watching Nosfa play, is that he just brings it.
Oh, and again,
when the tournament's live, he just brings the heat. He hits so many of these crazy shots and does these amazing reads and these fantastic plays in general. But, you know, cha1n, he's an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
For a strong reason. We'll see if he can really, I think, just get back up in any capacity, because Nosfer is looking incredibly formidable. Hitting rails like that, though, and that's the key to success.
Again, down at heavy, Nosfa doing the exact same thing, not immediately going for the item, but instead pushing out, positioning himself more towards the middle, seeing if he can take some more damage, or maybe even a frag of his opponent, knowing that to his back, he's got that major item safely waiting for him. And that's going to be an interesting rocket out of nowhere for Nosfa. I think he's a bit surprised that he did damage with that to begin with. And Nosfa right now clearly in control, landing some good damage, but he needs to do more than that to get the first frag. Out comes the rocket jump. cha1n is in such a bad position right now. Goes right back up the bounce pad. Nosfa, can he find him? What an interesting orb. It's a fakie.
Oh, the fake! I love the fake out. I mean, that missed rail in return right near here was a bad news for cha1n. It allowed Nosfa to lay the pressure on thick, but that fake out on the orb, in many ways, a straight up 50-50. It felt so much like cha1n just needed to escape, but I think he knew that Nosfa was just looking for like a desperation move, and the composure of cha1n to say, you know what, I'm not going to give you what you're looking for. However, he has given up a significant amount of control. I think this is the longest time we've gone all night without a single frag.
I think so too, yeah. That was indeed a brilliant escape from cha1n, just going down the bounce pad, back up the bounce pad, and then from a very unusual angle, throwing out the orb, and then just deciding to juke it and just run for it. And Nosfa completely fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. But unfortunately for cha1n, all he got out of it was not giving up a frag. Nosfa, so stacked.
This is why I don't think Nosfa's going to be gutted that he wasn't able to secure a frag there, because, I mean, he has still maintained control. We are going to reach an interesting position. The longer cha1n drags this out, the more control Nosfa is able to establish. And if we start reaching the one frag territory, where Nosfa has both piercing sight and just, you know, superior stack, cha1n might actually get a little bit worried. We're about to hit the 5-minute warning, and once more, there has not been a frag yet. cha1n not even interested in trying to contest these.
And Nosfa seems to be extremely comfortable with not getting any frags at this moment. He's just completely content running the major items, and I'm sure that he's confident that he will find his chance sooner or later. If he keeps this up, keeps managing to do damage, just keeps getting on the items. Oh, but god damn it.
I feel like that was just incredible foresight from cha1n.
Yeah.
Where he knew that the piercing sight's up, there's a good chance Nosfa's going to look for a funky angle, and before Nosfa even got the shot off, cha1n hit him first.
Yeah.
So he lost piercing sight, he lost a bunch of stack, and now, I mean, you know, we're back to the old-fashioned way. The heavy's been collected.
Yeah.
cha1n now pushing Nosfer away that cha1n's finally been able to establish some kind of pickup. He has undone a lot of the damage there, though, with that rail. The rocket's going to give Nosfer information. The entry damage, cha1n finally tries to make something happen. Teleports at the last second to make sure he's safe. It's a game of rails, and they both miss. That is unfortunate because Nosfer, he's going to chase this one down, but the defensive rocket is 2 on point. That was a crazy sequence.
Yeah, that definitely could have gone either player's way, but in the end they both miss their shots and Nosfa unable to chase cha1n down fast enough. And still 0-0, 6 minutes in. Damage again coming out of cha1n, so stacks are pretty much equal at this point. Mega will be up first, and I think that this could be the first time that cha1n is actually going to get control.
cha1n's played the runaway game, and it's starting to pay its dues here, as you said it yourself. Control. He's been able to finally collect this Mega. He's got a nice stack to try and take the Heavy. He has got Dire Orb, so he's got that escape option. The piercing sight. Will Nosfer pop it? Yeah, he will. And he knows now fighting for the Heavy might be a bit risque.
Yeah. Nice rocket coming out. That's more information than anything for cha1n, knowing that Nosfa is there waiting for him to pick up the item. And cha1n Mega will definitely be going his way.
Nosfer's now just looking for rail opportunities. He knows he hasn't got the stack. He knows cha1n's now in control, but he's confident in his own ability to hit these rails. If he can undo some of the damage and put cha1n back on his level, that's going to be a win. He's going to have timing on the Heavy now. He heard it. He listened to it. The delay remains. And yeah, at this point, he's just looking for rails.
Oh.
But the downtime of rails, cha1n, he's going to go in for the kill. He has loads of stack, but I fear maybe cha1n doesn't realize Nosfer is as low as he was.
Yeah, I think that was definitely too passive on cha1n's behalf because he could have gotten the frag almost guaranteed, and instead he just loops back around, gets himself that Mega health, and he's probably just going to take position on... Oh no, actually, here he comes, trying to take the fight at upper green. Nosfa in a bad spot right now, and cha1n, he's got that Heavy waiting for him down below at the bounce pad, so all he has to do if he takes any damage is back up. Nosfa doesn't have that luxury.
He knows he's going down for Heavy. It's going to give him room to at least escape the point of no return, but it's not going to be enough. A wonderful rail, though, and those rails are what Nosfer's been looking for. Yeah. Don't make himself easy to hit. Don't make himself easy to pin down. Make sure he can just chip away at the stack and control that cha1n has been able to somehow re-establish on this map.
This has been excellent from cha1n. The out-of-control gameplay has been near perfect. And look at that, some rails coming out of cha1n. He's got Nosfa where he wants him, but Nosfa landing the better shots. He's still gonna make an appearance, but Heavy goes to cha1n, and at this point, Nosfa is just screaming for health. cha1n, can he find him? Can he finally put that 1-0 on the board? Now is the time.
Oh, here he comes! Airborne goes in for the Dire Orb, but he should by all accounts collect, and he will do just that. 8.5 minutes in, the patience and not wanting to overextend. It's finally going to pay off. cha1n getting an all-important frag, and he's in the lead. Finally. I feel like it's crazy to me and amazing for Quake how 8.5 minutes happened. You would think that nothing happened with no frags, but so much took place over the course of this map, and he able to out-LG cha1n back in the lead 1 minute. This, by all accounts, should be his map now, if he can maintain this pace.
Yeah, we go 8.5 minutes without seeing a single frag, and now Nosfa needs to make 2 happen in just 50 seconds. So obviously he's got to bring some aggression, but cha1n has got a very good cycle going on the major items. Mega first, then Heavy, and he's just putting up a defensive fortress that I really don't see Nosfa being able to break.
cha1n played reserved for 8.5 minutes. He was looking for that one opportunity to run away with it. The first objective was control, before he even managed to bag a single frag. And then the secondary objective was, right, I'm now in control. Let's look for an opening. I loved the discipline that you must have for cha1n to sit there for 8.5 minutes, where it could have gone pear-shaped at any moment.
Yep.
And Nosfer would have had control with the stack, with piercing sight, and now he's just running away. This was perfectly executed, and I think one of the most impressive maps of the day.
Yeah, with 5 seconds left on the clock, there is absolutely no way for Nosfa to still make anything happen, and that will be cha1n taking map 2, tying it up 1-1 once again.
Now, we're going to sort of be going for somewhat more of an interesting choice. The final map's going to be Blood Covenant, and that is where we are getting the Athena pick from Nosfa. So the light champion, the fast pace and the high speed is something that we very much saw cha1n struggle with in map number 1. But hey, we have more space, and we have the opportunity to slow the pace down a little bit. And it was 8.5 minutes of just trying to get that little bit of extra control, getting one frag and then running away with it. That was very much a late game win condition, I think, building towards there for cha1n. And I'm actually really happy to see that he was able to have his game plan, stick to it, and it actually paid off. He got himself a win as well.
I mean, we definitely made the right call in saying that this was probably going to be the closest and one of the most interesting games of the night, because 1-1, I think that's the first time we're even seeing that. I think it's always been at least 2-0 and then maybe a change up on the final map, but so far 1-1, setting us up for the final decisive map of the evening.
I mean, Nosfa's given us some more broadcasts to kind of show us what he's made of in the online Pro League, purely because cha1n had a bye week. You know, the first week we didn't really get to see him because, you know, he was just one of the players that wasn't in the rotation. That has now ended. He's now back here and he's playing. And he had a great start, looking to try and take this potentially 2-1. Blood Covenant is where it does become a little bit of a question mark for me, though. I'm not really sure how I'd call this one, because I'm just looking at the fact that Nosfer's control over the light, fast champions is incredibly scary.
Yeah.
And I want to see if cha1n is somehow able to, like, put a lid on that, because that's easier said than done.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Athena, first time we're seeing her tonight, such a fast, nimble champion, can cover more ground than just about anyone in any direction at this point. And he's going up against cha1n's Doom. So cha1n for the first time actually has some mobility himself, because that first map when he went up against the Anarchy, he was playing Galena, and that means that he essentially has got nowhere to move to himself. But this time with Doomslayer, he's got the double jump, he's got the Berserk, so he's got a lot more options himself, so maybe that's key to beating Nosfa's light champion.
I really feel like Time Limit Duel has somewhat shifted the balance of power when it comes to some of the champions that have the readily available abilities, like the extra resource, like a Keel Grenade or a Galena Totem, or the one I really think of is the Athena Grappling Hook, that an ability that's not a big one-time payout, just blow it and use it, and it's big damage, or it's some big utility piece or whatever it is, like a Piercing Sight or a Ghost Walk or whatever. I think Athena's Grappling Hook always being, when managed correctly, readily available, and you can use it whenever you want. In a Time Limit Duel, that extra piece of utility is really important. And I think it allows champions like Athena to shine, because, hey, it's this one tool set that only I have, that if I'm managing it correctly is always there. And it's not about, hey, I've got to use all my grappling hooks before I die because it's round based. Now you've always got a grappling hook if you're doing it correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're starting this one off on Nosfa's perspective. Let's see what he can do with that Athena. Immediately putting out a bit of pressure on the LG, gets himself the Railgun, and now Lightning Gun will be the final map, and he's still missing. cha1n, I think, at this point managed to get himself all of the main weapons he needs to. And good read from Nosfa, 91 damage out of the rocket. Kind of messing up the hook though, because I think he really wanted to go in more aggressively. And there's a pretty nice delay, 5 seconds between the items. So Nosfa.
That was a lightning fast little rail, that one was. And let's see if he can lay that pressure on cha1n. Either you're going to zig or you're going to zag. Which way is it going to be? He's stuck. He does not want to run around a corner and just get completely ambushed, but I mean, if you're cha1n, do you try and pop Berserk and run away? Do you try and use that speed boost? I don't know. I mean, it's Athena. She can catch you. And the chase is on. Lots of rockets, though. The grappling hook making him a bit harder to hit, and he's gonna out LG cha1n. I was worried about him for a second, but it is the constant burst of movement.
Yeah, just 17 points of health left after that engagement. Could have gone cha1n's way as well, but in the end it will be Nosfa taking frag 1, and compared to previous game of 8.5 minutes without any points, this is a very quick start. cha1n right now having the better stack, but Nosfa of course has that mobility, will be caught out. Can cha1n do anything? Yup. Nosfa unable to get away with the hook, bad positioning for him to be in, and so cha1n tying it up 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, cha1n has good accuracy all the same. Even if Nosfer is trying to make himself as hard to hit as possible. That was a nice rail, by the way. Even if he's trying to be as hard to hit as he possibly can. An LG is still an LG.
Yeah, absolutely. Nosfa, I'm surprised he stuck around that long with just 20 points of health. cha1n could have easily finished him off right there. Does end up getting out of the room alive, though. Mega will be the next major item coming up. I think cha1n will probably be taking position on that. I think he's got the timing on everything. Yep, immediately picks up Mega. Nosfa over at Heavy.
The opening rails are going to be so important here for Nosfer. He needs to chip away at that stack. It's the only way he can take a fight that I think is going to win. Even if he tries to make himself hard to hit. If you get caught close quarters by Doom with a stack like that, And you have the base stack that Athena's currently sitting on. I mean, yeah, that 100 damage rocket was a great start, but he needs a lot more.
Yeah.
Can't just easily concede this Mega, because if he's just allowing cha1n to run around as stacked as he wants, if they inevitably bump into each other, and it just so happens to be that way, I just don't think Nosfa has the tools to actually kill him at all.
Yeah, of course, because there is a stack difference between a light champion like Athena that Nosfa's playing and the medium champion like Doom that cha1n's working with right now. And you can see instantly, basically just one rail to Nosfa's face, and he's essentially railable, and that's definitely not the case with Doom.
My god, the read! The read of the retreat. cha1n is on the money, and there's no way Nosfa's going to escape that.
Yeah.
cha1n's rails have been... We're talking about the entry rails that Nosfa is needing to hit. cha1n is hitting those against Nosfa while he's behind, which is just making it so much more miserable.
cha1n doing a little bit of self damage. He's waiting for that small armor to spawn, I think, but
cha1n
will break away to just make sure he can get the heavy to begin with. And yeah, right now that small armor will be up for Nosfa, but better safe than sorry.
Currently the security of one extra frag, and that stack difference is alarming.
Yeah.
If you're in Nosfa's shoes. There's plenty of this match left to go, but the sheer amount of work that Nosfa's going to have to do in this position to take away the stack so the fight is even winnable for Athena in this position. Right now the mobility hasn't proved to be too useful. cha1n's able to chase all the same. He's still able to hit these crazy rail angles and catch Nosfa on the back foot anyway. The moment the fight's taking place, like, yeah, Nosfa, he's nowhere near. And when he's finally trying to get some damage, he's just a bit too late. And now he's taking damage himself once more, put behind.
And that's how fast it goes, because of the small stack that Nosfa has. One rail like that just instantly shuts him down and basically kills any possibility or opportunity he has to make something happen. So now it's back to the drawing board, back to picking up small armors, back to picking up more health before he can even make a move. And the longer he waits, the more time ticks away. And here we go. cha1n rocket jump up, lands one rail. Won't connect with the second one though, but at least he's got heavy to work with.
The fact that cha1n even hit that initial rail is just highly impressive.
Yeah.
The fact that any champion has these unique movement properties.
Oh,
no! The mid-air from out of nowhere. What a shot there from cha1n, who now is sitting there 3-1 versus Nosfa, looking excellent in form so far. This could be his map. Could be a 2-1. And what a result that would be, Flea.
Yeah, that would be quite the upset. I think that many people were expecting this to be close, but still gave Nosfa an edge after their previous performances. Nosfa also beat him at QuakeCon. So this is looking really good for cha1n. He's got heavy towards his back, but isn't going to go for it right away. Just wants to do more damage. Out comes the double jump. Oh, Nosfa going the other way. Getting back with the hook. And Nosfa now in a pretty bad spot. cha1n taking decent amount of LG damage. Oh, this is risky for him.
He has started to be in an interesting position. cha1n, railable until he collects this light armor, but I think Nosfa's are getting hit by so many rails that I wonder if he's even a little bit nervous to try and take those rail angles, because by all accounts, if you can rail someone, they can probably rail you if they're looking in the right direction.
Yeah.
So he needs to catch cha1n off guard, hitting an entry rail, while at the same time, cha1n is actually, like right there, he's actually catching Nosfa off guard a lot more regularly.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, that rail always does 90 damage, but that 90 damage does a lot more to a small champion with a small stack than it does to a medium champion over time. Oh, Nosfa actually finding the shot. This might be his way back into this.
He needs to catch cha1n off spawn. But that said, off the spawn, he got heavy. Look at Doom's stack. However, he hasn't got the weaponry, and that damage is juicy. Going in for the LG, cha1n's going to go down. Nosfa picking his fight perfectly. And he's looking for a spawn. And it is going to be there, but all he needed was information. Berserk, he's swinging, and he's out. He's not even interested. I was almost prepared to see a airborne punch in the face.
I thought the same thing, but nope. cha1n falls just short with the punches, and things are all tied up 3-3. Still going for the heavy. It's going to work out for him nicely. And Nosfa still not having that full stack.
And now it's 3 frags apiece. Quickly turned around by Nosfer. Really goes to show how unpredictable this final map could be. All Nosfer needs to get is one good kill and then one good spawn.
Yep.
Capitalize on it as he has been doing the entire time. Here comes that mobility of the grappling hook once again. And the next objective being Mega. cha1n's actually conceding it, and I think Nosfer's using that against him perhaps.
Looks like it. Oh wow, what a rail onto the LG. And now Nosfa. I mean, takes quite a bit of tribal damage right here, and he doesn't want to let cha1n get back to the dominance that he had earlier. He wants to keep applying that pressure because he knows that once he lets cha1n get all the way stacked up and then take Mega and Heavy, he's going to be in so much trouble. So he needs to continue pressuring cha1n and keep making himself relevant.
He's definitely not satisfied going, you know, just the way things normally go, which is, hey, I pick up one pickup, you pick up the other. Even if he knows that it's potentially still there, he's fighting for it. He has got the Mega, missing these rails though, which is kind of unfortunate. If he hit cha1n with even one of those, he could have justified laying on the pressure, but right now I don't think he can quite take the risk. It's now going to be Heavy up next, and Nosfer's going to have timing on it.
Yep.
He can hear that cha1n is nowhere near it, and once more, he's trying to hit this opening damage, but that strategy is not as effective if your shots aren't hitting their mark.
Yeah. And I think that at this point, both players are more content with slowing things down because there's 1:30 seconds left on the clock. So if you lose a frag right now at this point, that's going to be very difficult to come back from still.
I think both players are going to be more satisfied trying to play the one frag to go game, the tri-bolt.
No.
Information more than damage in that case. And uh-oh, that rail.
That's not good for Nosfa. Heavy will come up soon. Nosfa does have the better positioning, and that's a good string of damage right there.
Especially seeing as it has indeed forced cha1n away. He might be able to get some damage, and the fact that cha1n jumped down before Mega, that might be bad news because Nosfer, no, he's going to chase it. He's going in for the kill. He needs to capitalize. And even still, he's not doubling back to take the Mega. He wants this kill, and he wants it now. This is an all or nothing, and it's going to pay off. cha1n is going to fall. Nosfer is going to double back now and take the Mega. There is a little bit of delay between Heavy as well. That was such a all or nothing play there from Nosfer. This is the high octane style he's known for. He is not afraid, Flea.
Yeah, he took the risk. He went all in. It could have definitely backfired, but this time around it didn't. And now with 30 seconds left to go, cha1n, he needs to find Nosfa, needs to find him quickly. But look at that, Nosfa's got 3 of his hooks ready. cha1n actually managing to find him right away, but using those hooks horizontally to get speed. No, the rail will not find him again. And now cha1n has got positioning above Nosfa. In he comes. Nosfa is trying to get out. 24 points of health. That rail that would have been the equalizer.
Oh, and he misses a second one that could have been a Hail Mary for all we know. That missed rail is everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he can catch it. He hits the rail, but can he even get an angle? He can't at all. He needed 1 more second. And that's all he needed to potentially hit the final shot. That missed rail was the absolute closer.
Yeah, and it didn't even look like such a difficult rail either because Nosfa is essentially just going in a straight line away from him, but still he missed it, and then he had another opportunity down at Lightning Gun, and again he can't connect the shot, and that's going to give Nosfa the leeway that he needs to survive.
I mean, thank you very much to